afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Intro into Binging, watching streaming video. I am Paige Libbert. I am one of the consumer technology specialists here at Mid-Continent Public Library, and I am here today to talk to you a little bit about streaming video. So primarily what we're going to talk about is kind of what is streaming video, and some of the services that you can use to stream video. So streaming video can be live or on demand. It comes through the internet. It is just streaming video that comes through your internet, a lot like YouTube. But this way you can use apps and other devices to actually bring that video to your TV, to your laptop, to your phone, in a variety of other ways. It can be paid or free. There are subscription services for almost every streaming service out there. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. Live video tends to be more expensive or cost a little bit more than the on-demand options. Live streaming services are a lot more like your regular cable subscription, so you actually have access to channels that you can go to and watch them however however those shows or videos would appear live on regular cable. But you often do have access to on-demand versions, so older episodes of TV shows and videos that are on those channels. And then on demand just basically means that you have access to shows, videos, what have you, 24/7. They're on demand, so you can watch whatever is available whenever you want to watch it. Like I said, the video is delivered to your device through the internet. So what you're going to need, you will need internet. Most of these streaming services do not offer any offline or no internet connection viewing. Netflix is a little bit unique. It does have an option to download some of the video, so you can watch that video when you're like in airplane mode or something like that. But it is limited to the amount of space that you can, or amount of content you can download, and you can't download everything that they have access to or that they provide access to. But so far, they're pretty much the only one that has that kind of a service. So for the most part, you will need an internet connection. And you will need an internet connection that is fairly quick. If you're not sure, there are ways to test your home internet. Just do a quick web search for speed tests or online speed tests, and you can see how speedy your home internet is. Basic streaming, you're going to need about 5 megabits per second or Mbps. If you're doing HD streaming or up, usually it's 10 or more. If you have multiple people using devices, you may need even more megabits per second or more bandwidth. You will need a streaming device of some kind, and so this can be a variety of things. Most commonly, people use a TV, just a standard TV, hooked up with either a streaming box or a streaming stick, so that'd be like your Amazon box or a Roku stick, something along those lines. Personally, I have a PlayStation hooked up to my TV that I use as my streaming device. PlayStations work. Current Xboxes, so Xbox One, One X, PlayStation 4. The Switch actually does support Hulu and YouTube, so you can do those. There are other devices, so some smart TVs offer access to the streaming apps that you would need. You can also use your computer. You can use your phone. There are mobile apps for almost every single service that I'm going to talk about today. And there are streaming apps that work on your on smart TVs for a lot of them as well. Most of these have a browser available option so that you can just pull them up on your laptop, your tablet, or your phone and just watch in the browser. You will probably need an account. Most of them will require you to create an account to watch, and then you will likely need a subscription. So there's some free ones that don't require you to do a subscription of any kind, but any of the paid services, you'll have kind of a subscription service. The nice thing with a subscription is that you can end any time. It is not like an annual thing or a 2-year contract or anything. It's just month to month. So once you've watched the shows you want to watch, if there's nothing else there, you are free to cancel anytime, and it's not going to hold it over you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the major streaming services, just so you know what's out there. There are tons. There are hundreds of different streaming services. If you check out the MCPL website sometime, there is a blog that I have written about streaming services that includes I think about 15 more than I'm going to talk about today. But I'm going to talk about some of the major ones. So we're going to go ahead and get into what I'm calling the Big Four. I used to call it the Big Three, and then Disney Plus happened. And it shot up. There's just tons and tons of people who went after that one, and it's a great service. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what some of them look like. With the exception of Disney Plus, I can actually show you what a subscription account looks like. So we are in my Hulu account right now, so you can kind of see how it works. So as you scroll through here, you can they'll pick out, so TV for you based on sort of things that you have watched, movies for you, again, based on what you've watched. What you can also just keep watching whatever you have been watching. And then it kind of pulls into categories, so things that are already in your stuff, popular categories right now, Hulu's top picks. And then if you want to kind of keep looking at stuff, so I'll go through this Hulu Originals. I can just scroll through and see all the things that are available. I can also come up here to browse, and if you know kind of more what you're into, so if you want something from a specific network, or if you know I want movies, you can go just straight to movies. You can do that. Now with Hulu, they do have a pretty good movie collection, but they are not known for being a movie streaming service. They are much, much more focused on television. So while there are a lot of movies, you're going to find a lot more television here. So just keep that in mind. So I just kind of want to give you an idea of what that looks like. I'm going to pop over to Netflix now. So Netflix actually works very similarly. They do focus on one, so when you first log in, you'll always get a big kind of check out this brand new hotness, and get a quick preview of whatever is in there. Usually at the top of the web browser version, at least, you get your list that you can scroll through, so you can add stuff to your list so you have quick access to it. You'll also get a popular on Netflix, the trending now, any of the new things that have come out. Netflix originals, which there are tons. Netflix spends tons and tons of money every year to create original series, and they tend to be very popular. I've been watching The Floor is Lava recently. It's hysterical. If you like to watch people fall into red water. So there are all kinds of different services or different shows. Netflix has lots of movies, lots of TV shows, documentaries, all kinds of different things. So you've got lots to choose from. They do have a search function, so you can just search by whatever name. You can also search by genre in their search function right here where my little mouse is at. If you know that you're specifically after TV shows or movies, you can do that. Or if you want things that are very recent, you can just click on latest. So you got a lot of options. It's pretty cool. So here I am. I am in Amazon now. So Amazon Prime Video is a little bit different than the others that I've pulled up. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you already have access to Amazon Prime Video. That's just part of the Amazon Prime package that you pay for. Unlike Hulu and Netflix, though, you can watch anything that is available to rent on Amazon. So if there's a video or like a new movie that you want to watch, but you're not going to catch theaters because, well, they're all closed right now, or you're not going to be able to catch it in theaters for whatever other reason, once it hits being an available movie to essentially rent, you can rent and view or purchase and view those videos through Prime Video in addition to whatever happens to be on demand. So that is pretty nice. For me, the biggest bummer with this one is that you're not always sure which ones are Prime Video and which ones are paid. There's usually a little Prime banner up here in the top corner, top left corner, lets you know that it is in Prime. But if you miss that, it's kind of a surprise when you're like, I want to watch this new movie. Oh, it's going to be $5 to rent it. Okay. So just keep that in mind when you're here. Something I did not talk about is that Amazon and Hulu both have channels that you can add. So if I come up here to channels, you can kind of see. So you can add in specialty channels. So if you know that there's a show that you want to watch that is on Showtime, you can add in the Showtime channel. So Showtime, Stars, HBO, CBS, all kinds of other specialty channels have their own individual streaming services that cost a certain amount. Or if you already pay for something like Amazon Prime and Prime Video, or if you pay for Hulu, you can just add that additional monthly charge to your Hulu account, and it will just show up within that app instead of having to use two separate apps. So it's kind of convenient. But you can get in here and you can kind of see what all is here. If you want to subscribe to other channels, if you'd like to. So, and then Hulu, which I didn't mention, does live TV as well. So they have a live TV package. All of these services I'm going to talk about have a package of some kind, or many of them do. Hulu has several. It is the only one that has more than I feel like counting right now, but they do have both on-demand and live TV options. The live TV option does cost a decent amount more than their regular on-demand one, but it is a good live TV service if that's something that you are after. All right. Last but not least, Disney Plus, which unfortunately I don't have a login for right now. So we get the lovely subscription screen. So Disney Plus hit the market in, I think, November of 2019, and just completely went crazy. Everybody went nuts for it. It has a good majority of anything Disney has put out, along with Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars. They're starting to add in Fox stuff as well because Disney now owns a lot of Fox. And then Nat Geo. So if there's anything, so they have documentaries from Nat Geo. They are creating their own content. Over here with Jeff Goldblum, he did a whole series that was just The World According to Jeff Goldblum, and it's fantastic. Um, but if you were looking for some of those Disney classics or Disney original movies, if you're about my age and you grew up watching those Disney movies with, I don't even know, I'd say Zac Efron, but it wasn't Zac Efron, but it would. There are a lot of those are on there and available for you to watch. So if you need to be nostalgic and watch Xenon Girl of the 21st Century, it is there, along with all kinds of cartoons and movies and other TV shows that you'd like to watch. The hugely popular Mandalorian is there, so it's a cool channel or a cool spot to kind of check out. You can see that you can get Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus together for a $12.99 a month package. That is because Hulu is actually owned by Disney, as is ESPN, so they will do bundles like that. But you can also do just Disney on its own as well. So you have choices. So I'm going to come back here. We're going to talk a little bit about live TV. So I mentioned that Hulu has a live TV option, but it is not specifically a live TV streaming service. There are several that are just for live TV. That's all they do. They focus on live TV. Two of the most popular that I'm going to talk about today are AT&T TV Now and Sling. Another really popular one is Fubo, or Fubo TV, and then YouTube TV has a live option as well, or it's just YouTube TV. But Fubo TV I bring up just because it is more sports centric. So for all the sports fans out there, it is a really good choice, or something to look into, because you get access to more of those sports channels. So like the Fox Sports and NFL Network, I think, even though we may or may not have football this year. We'll see. I'm going to show you this is just the AT&T TV subscription screen. No great surprise, I don't pay for that one. It used to be DirecTV or DirecTV Now. So if you are familiar with that one, AT&T just decided to change the name. They've owned them for years. So now they're AT&T TV Now. They have several different packages for you to choose from. And that's what's unique about the live TV, is that you often have several different packages. You can choose the number of channels that you want. So if you want 40 channels, then you might have a smaller package. If you want all the channels, the premiere package and all the things, it might be a little bit more pricey, but you'll have a better selection of channels. But it's always great because you can usually get in there and see what channels are available with which packages. So, and then this one is Sling. Sling is also, I guess they're all kind of unique in their own way, but Sling has just two packages. They have blue and orange. And you can choose which one you want based on which channels are there. And they will tell you exactly what is in each channel or each package. If you scroll down here, I can see all channels. And it will show me, here's all the channels that are available. Obviously, the blue package has more channels, but I believe that is because they are the typically perhaps less expensive channels to pay for and have access to. There is also an option to just do both. It's a little bit more per month to do both. But you would get access to all of the unique channels between the two packages, which is nice. All right, last but not least, free dollars, everybody's favorite subscription price. So there are actually quite a few different free ones out there. I'm going to focus on two that are not from the library, but then I'm going to break into the library and show you some of the stuff that we have. So this right here, this one is Pluto TV, and I like it. Apparently it's National Cat Day, so we're going to watch the cats back over each other. Oh, dang. So they have their own sort of kind of live TV. It is not going to be the channels you are used to. Obviously, this one is called The Pet Collective. As I scroll through them, there are other channels. So there's Dogs 24/7, Cats 24/7. There's a stand-up TV, slightly off Broadway or slightly off TV, which is from IFC. Crank TV Tosh.0 has his own channel on here. Um, so you have all those kind of things. So they are a little bit different. It's not truly the normal like network TV channels that we're used to, but it does actually have some really good stuff. For the fans of MST3K, they have a whole channel, so you can sit there and watch them all day do their riffs. They also do some on demand. So this will stay. So their little like live TV will stay in the bottom corner until you pick something to watch on demand. So if I wanted to watch anything, I could just scroll through here and pick something out. For the sake of volume, I'm not going to, but they do have a pretty good collection of stuff. It is not going to be the newest or hottest things that you are used to seeing on some of the other streaming services, but they do have quite a bit of stuff, which is nice to have when you're not having to pay anything for it. So you can search over here by some specific items. So if you're specifically after some sitcoms or you want new movies this month, they do have kind of a rotating cast of stuff. So something that is here now may not be here a little bit later in the year. So just keep that in mind. And last but not least, I'm going to hit Tubi. I think it's Tubi, could be Tubby. I call it Tubi. It is another one of the free ones. They don't have that live TV option, but they do, I think, have a slightly larger collection of stuff to watch and look at. Oh, Megamind is new. That one's awesome. I love Megamind. But same idea. You can kind of scroll through. Looks a lot like Hulu to me, just without the green and white. But you can scroll through, find whatever you want to watch, and watch it for free anytime. It's an awesome resource. So, last but not least, I said I was going to hit the library's website. So here I am on the main MCPL webpage. Got all of our alerts for closed things and for the 4th of July. But if I come up here to Books, Movies, Music, give it a second to load up, and then come down here, I can go to Go Digital. And that's going to bring up all of our electronic resources for books and audiobooks and everything else. But if I scroll to the bottom, you'll see Watch eMovies. So I'm actually going to click on Browse Resources. So this will show you all of the different options we have for finding e-movies, or more specifically e-videos. Not all of these are going to be the movies you're used to. All right, next one I want to show you is Access Video on Demand. So this is another one of our free online resources. And this one, unfortunately, does not have an app for you to use on your tablets or your phones, but it does still work great in your browser. It has not got all of the popular stuff. They focus primarily on documentaries, docuseries, and indie films. They have tons and tons of indie films. So there's some really good stuff in here. They do have Ken Burns, so I know that's a big one for a lot of people who are into documentaries. Ken Burns is hugely popular. They have several of Ken Burns' series, including the newest one, the country music one. So if you scroll through here, they kind of go on focusing topics. So right now it's viruses, it's Pride Month, so they do have a bit about Pride. They also have a lot of exercise videos. So if you are looking for some ways to kind of get stretched out while you're at home, like all of us are, there's some good videos in here. And then there's Jane Fonda's workouts, which is great. It's fun to watch. Some rock and roll. So if you want to watch, we'll just go with the fresh yoga with Katie Mission. If you open that up, you'll see she's got actually several different, it's a video series. So if I wanted to watch this one, I can just click on it, give it a second to load up, and then I can just watch it now in my browser. So I just click play and it would go through for me right there. I can also kind of click through and go around in the video if I'd like to search through. If you decide to create and use an account with Access Video, you can add it to a playlist or favorite it so that you can come back to it later if you know that you want to keep watching it, or if you want to keep coming back to use this video. Since this is an exercise video, you may want to use it many times. So it's a cool resource. As I scroll down, so we have Metacheat TV. That's classical performances, so plays, operas, and that sort of thing. There's opera and video, so more recorded operas, dance and video, just recorded performances. As I scroll down, coming all the way to the bottom of the page, because I love to point this resource out, is so this is just for kids access video, and it is as advertised. It is just for kids. These are mostly kids television series. There are a couple of very short movies, but it is mostly television or quick little like episodic things. So there are some older cartoons and shows that are spectacular. So The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, some familiar ones. So Berenstain Bears, Franklin the Turtle, Reading Rainbow. Arthur was on here, The Electric Company, Sesame Street. These are all largely older episodes, not necessarily the stuff that's airing right now, but it is an awesome resource. Then they also have a lot of their own created ones, or maybe some PBS series that I'm not as familiar with, but are still really good. It is fun stuff. There's educational stuff. They've got things for somewhat older kids, so early teens, maybe young teens, fifth, sixth grade, as well as the much younger kiddos, like Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood and that sort of thing. So you have choices of stuff to kind of play with and look at. So if we wanted to watch Arthur, fabulous series. We'll go ahead and load this up. We can get in here. You can see any of the title or any of the programs that we have. Looks like we only have 10, maybe. So if we wanted to watch, is that kosher? If we wanted to watch this episode, looks a lot like Access Video, just because it is the same company that runs it. So if I just click play, I can watch my video right there. Again, if I want to create an account, I can just do that, and then I can save this video or other videos to a playlist or my favorites. So you have lots of choices that way. You don't have to worry about checking it out. It's just watch it now, and then you can kind of go back to it later on if you want to. So that is the quick kind of rundown of our different resources. And that's where I'm at. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching this video. This is a later recording. So this video actually was live on air about a month ago, live on Facebook, but we are recording it so you guys can listen to it later on. But if you would like to join us for our most recent videos, we are either live or video premiering on Facebook at Wednesdays at 1 p.m. We do a tech focus, so it is all over the board. Could be Excel, could be learning about how to use your email, could be talking about Google. There's all kinds of different resources, so we'd love to see you there. And thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good week.